Welcome everyone into Talking Fitchburg. I am Andrew Bamlett. Hope you're all having a good day out there, enjoying the weather. It's a little cold, but hopefully you're enjoying nevertheless. It is Thursday, September 23rd. Filling in again for Jeremy as he's out for today, and he will be joining us back in our rightful places tomorrow. We got a quick headlines to get through today, so I'm going to get right into it. Coming up though on the digest, we talked with Misty Dodge about a new stormwater rate increase that will be happening. She explains that. And then also in the guest segment, we have DATCP, talk to Laura about the COVID-19 federal relief updates that have been taking place. So she'll let us know about what's going on there as well. Let's get into it with your headlines. We're going to start with Friday Fun to Go. This is through the Fitchburg Public Library on Friday, of course. So stop at the Fitchburg Public Library and pick up some Friday Fun activity bags. Take and make activity bags are for children's age 2 to 5 and 6 to 12. They will be available in the children's section of the library every Friday starting at 10 a.m. So please limit one bag per child while supplies last. Sounds like a good time. Come on out. It's on a table right out front by the children's area. And you just pick them up and take them on your way. And then there you go. Good to go. All right, also coming up tomorrow is the Pick Me Up at the Border bike ride. This will be tomorrow starting at 7. There is gathering at 6:30 for some snacks. This is a $15 registration fee. You can see the website bikefitchburg.org to find that registration. They will be riding, they have 3 different rides going on, a 25-mile ride to Belleville, a 50-mile ride to Monticello, and an 80-mile ride to the Illinois state line and back. So hopefully you enjoy. Anyone can enjoy these rides as there's plenty of options there as far as distance. You will need a Badger State Trail pass, so you will need to purchase that yourself. There are daily passes, so you can look into that and get that settled. Again, that is tomorrow, so if you want to get in, you better register today so they know how many people to expect. Also, it is National Senior Center Month, and this year's theme is Building Momentum. So the Senior Center loves to celebrate National Senior Center Month. Local restaurants will be sharing their profits in fundraising events during September. You can see the insert here. So we're at the week of the 20th to the 24th. Right now you can go down to Funk's Pub from 11 to 11 p, and they will get a portion of their profit will go to the Fitchburg Friends group. So that's pretty awesome. And then next week, Wednesday the 29th, is the last one, which is Hop House from 11 to 10 p. So get down there. Again, right now this week is Funk's Pub. Get down there and appreciate and help all your seniors as they need some help here. And we've got an awesome senior center here right in Fitchburg for all of those in the area. All right, last we have the Puppy Up Walk. This is taking place on Sunday, October 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at McKee Farms Park, which is 2930 Chapel Valley Road. Register for a 2-mile walk and help promote awareness of canine cancer and fundraise for cancer research that benefits both pets and people. This is a family-friendly event where all humans and canines can participate. Make sure you follow any rules of showing your dog's rabies shots and anything like that, licensure, all of that. Please visit their website to get signed up for the puppy walk, which sounds like a really good time. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to sit down and talk with Misty Dodge about a stormwater rate increase. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Hey, boss. Okay.
Said I'm fine.
See you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from your finance department, it is the finance director, Misty Dodge. Misty, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me, Jeremy.
Thank you for being on here. We usually only get to talk budget and stuff like that, but now we're going to be talking about stormwater utility. There'll be some changes coming up here. We want to make sure we go through these bit by bit here. So you're kind enough to take the time out of your schedule today to walk us through this. So overall, what is happening here with the stormwater utility?
Yeah, so I'm here today to let people know that there was a stormwater rate increase that was approved that people will start seeing on their next utility bills that come out at the end of this month.
And when you say approved, what does that mean?
Yeah, so a resolution was approved by council. The budget, when the 2021 budget was passed by the council at the end of 2020, the expenses that were approved were not all able to be paid for by the rates that were at the time. So a rate increase needed to be done in order to generate the revenue to pay for all of the expenses that were approved in the budget.
All right, well, walk us through then how this is working and how we got to the numbers that that will be out on the bills here.
Absolutely. If I can start for a moment and just talk about what the stormwater rates are. So the stormwater rates is a piece of the quarterly utility bill that goes out to all of our customers. And if you look at the average single family urban home, the stormwater utility is about 10 to 15% of the total quarterly bill that's going out. So this rate increase that I'm talking about is not on the whole quarterly bill, it's just on a portion of that quarterly utility bill. So as I mentioned, when the 2021 budget was approved, the revenues did not support the expenses that were approved. So we brought a resolution to council at the beginning of 2021, which presented a rate increase. And that rate increase was simply what was needed to balance the 2021 budget. And so these new rates are going to be effective, or were effective July 1st of this year. But because of the quarterly bills that we do, customers won't see that increase until the bills that are coming out now at the end of September.
Yeah, so let's take a peek then here at that breakdown.
Yeah, so the rates here on this chart are the current rates, or I guess the old rates by each one of the categories of the stormwater customers, the new rates per quarter, and then those same amounts per annual. So when I'm talking about utility rates, I generally focus on this urban single family because that's who the bulk of our customers are. And so the urban single family increase is going to be $7 per quarter, or just over $28 per year that they'll see.
As the increase then to the total?
Yep, that's the increase. So it's going to go from $18.71 per quarter to $25.82 per quarter.
Gotcha. And as far as what is all the payments go towards? So when we're talking utilities, so specifically the stormwater utilities.
Yeah, that's a big question that we get is, what does this stormwater utility do and why do we have it? And the stormwater utility, it's important to know that it is a part of the city, part of the overall functions that the city provides, but it is not funded by property taxes. It's a separate utility that's paid for through rates. And so the cost of providing all of the service for the stormwater utility is spread to all of our ratepayers based on impervious area. So that's the area on your property where the rainwater, the stormwater can't infiltrate into the ground. So that includes your roof, your driveway, parking lots, all of those things where the stormwater cannot infiltrate. That water needs to be addressed. And so the stormwater utility pays for all of those costs to reduce the polluted runoff into our system. So that includes the maintenance and operation of the city-owned stormwater drainage, as well as the city-owned stormwater management facilities, like those stormwater ponds that you will see throughout the city. Those are all maintained and created by the stormwater utility.
Yeah, and what's the goal then, of city administration, or well, not city administration, I guess you got all of our departments working on different projects here, excuse me, but as they move along, what are we going to see as far as development for stormwater, and how does that match against the rates and future rates?
Yeah, so thinking back about that 2021 budget, there were some pretty significant changes from 2020 to 2021, which is what drove the need for this rate increase. And so the slide that I have up now is the operating budget side. If I can back up for a moment, so there's two components of the budget. There's the operating side, which would be your staffing, your maintenance costs, that type of thing. And then there's the capital side, which are those big construction projects that the stormwater utility does. So right now, what I have up here is the operating side. So there were kind of three big things that jump out at me for the 2021 budget that were approved and was the driver for this rate increase. In the professional services line, the vegetation management increased $40,000. Vegetation management is the cost to maintain those stormwater facilities, those stormwater ponds that we have. You know, make sure that the vegetation or the plants that are growing in it are serving their purposes and done appropriately. Another big thing is the street sweeper. So I know Fact TV did a story for us recently where we bought the new street sweeper, and there was a Fitchburg resident that designed the side of it, which is very cool. But we did have to pay for that street sweeper, and then also the fuel and the maintenance cost and all of that for that additional piece of equipment. And that equipment is needed because, you know, as the city grows, we've got more street sweeping that needs to be done, and there's a cost associated with that. And then the third thing on the operating side that I think is important for the rate increase is that staff position. So we bought the new street sweeper and we have a lot of big projects going on the stormwater side. We also needed additional staff. So we did hire one new person through the 2021 budget. 2/3 of that position was paid for by the stormwater utility, and we'll be doing the street sweeping and other stormwater functions. And that cost is another big reason why this increase was required.
Gotcha. Yeah, and are we mandated to provide clean wastewater? So when that wastewater or stormwater runoff is being captured and going, what is the city responsible for as far as what are staff having to do as part of maybe a DNR mandate or state mandates or even county?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I don't know as much about the specifics of the stormwater utilities. There's a stormwater department and an engineer that is responsible for a lot of that. But there are DNR permits and requirements, really making sure that the water that comes from the storm is addressed and is not polluted as it goes into the rest of the system.
Yeah, and certainly, you are in finance, so can't have you answer every question. But good to know that there are some mandates out there that go into this, and then there was some carryover here from the 2020 operating budget as well, playing a role in this.
Yep. And then on the capital side, if I may, so the capital projects are handled a little bit differently than the operating side. But another reason why this rate increase was so important is there are a lot of stormwater projects happening right now. And so this list here will talk about some of the bigger projects, and these are multi-year projects. So for example, this Lake Barney watershed, $60,000, that's just the early phase of that project in total. There's more costs that will be coming to actually install the facility that is needed. So there's a lot of one-time capital projects that are also being installed. And the more facilities we build, the more our maintenance costs will going to be, because we have more facilities that we have to take care of and then ultimately replace at some point. So these are just some projects that are in the hopper right now.
And as these projects go on, and we continue to have building in here, these costs get offset? Like, how is there any balance to how this goes? Obviously, there's always projects, there's always going to be stuff happening, but how does that play into all of this?
Yeah, so all of these projects are laid out through our capital improvement plan, which is a 10-year plan. It's available out on the city's website. Would encourage anybody that's interested in the capital projects throughout the city to see what's all included in that plan. And in there, it talks about the different funding sources, whether it's property taxes or borrowing or stormwater rates or water rates, et cetera. So it's every project is looked at individually, and there's a detail sheet for each one. So you can get the basics of the project, how much it's going to cost, and where that money's coming from.
Awesome. Any other notes of sort here, Misty?
I do. I have one more. So there are a couple of stormwater credits that are available to people that we just want to make sure people are aware of. For more information, go out to the city's website. I included the website there so people can find it. But on the residential side, if you install a rain barrel or a cistern or a rain garden or pervious pavement, you can get a credit on your stormwater utility bill to help lower that cost. And then there's also a credit for being a Fitchburg Creek supporter. These credits are either one-time or ongoing, depending on the type of credit, but are available to people to lower that bill. And then on the multifamily or the commercial site, they have those same credits, as well as if they install their own stormwater detention facility, they can get a credit for that too. So if these credits are something you're interested in, you can go out to the website and there's some forms to fill out and to certify certain things, and we'll make sure that it gets reflected on the bill appropriately.
All right, Misty. Well, thank you so much for breaking it down for us. And if anybody has any additional questions besides obviously going to the website and finding out more questions and watching this, you guys do take phone calls as well and emails. That's all on the website as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, Misty, our finance director here, taking the time out, talking storm and utilities. We'll keep posting this or post this video up too on the page so you can go back and watch. And if you have any questions on it, hopefully this helps you out. Take a quick break, more to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. It's time to check in with our friends at the Department of Ag Trade Consumer Protection, and we've got Laura Sutherland here. Laura, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. It looks like you're enjoying a day on the lake is what I'm seeing here. Lucky. That soon is going to be a different colored lake here turning fall. But we're here to talk about COVID-19 federal relief updates. And there's been a few changes here. And I will let you take it away on those changes.
That's right. So as you know, with the CARES Act and the COVID and the pandemic, there's been a lot of federal programs that are out there for folks who are needing economic relief. So we want to keep people up to date with them, but also recognize that there are a lot of scams that come around these types of relief programs, and to be careful. So first of all, what kind of programs are there? Well, there was a moratorium on evictions for folks who couldn't pay their rent. That has since ended. That ended on August 26th, so last month. So now if you can't pay your rent, you can be evicted by your landlord. However, there is a lot of information and resources out there for people who are struggling to pay their rent and struggling to pay their utilities. Really encourage folks, landlords and tenants alike, to reach out, because the rental assistance will go directly towards to the landlord if it's a rental issue. As I say, you can also get help with your home energy costs and wraparound services for individuals who qualify. So it's the Wisconsin Emergency Rental Assistance Program, WRAP, very clever. It's put on by the Department of Administration. So you can find out all the information you need on their website, which is at doa.wi.gov. There is information there you can find on this program. There's also counties that are providing rental assistance. You can find information in Milwaukee, you can find information in Dane, and there are other counties that have rental assistance. So all of this is on DACAP's website. There's some FAQs, some frequently asked questions about this moratorium and its ending and the responsibility of tenants to pay rent. Of course, this pandemic has been a struggle for everyone. It has caused economic issues, it's caused health issues. So at the very least, we encourage the tenants and the landlords to work together, see if they can't find a payment plan at the outset, and rather than removing people from their homes during a pandemic. And again, looking to DOA for resources that can help you. They're out there if you qualify for this assistance. And the qualifying criteria are on our website. They're on DOA's website, and you can sort of easily click through those. So again, doa.wi.gov will have all this information, or you can go to our website. It will take you, there'll be a live link there to take you right to that information.
Yeah, as far as that goes, for this category, for the relationship between the landlord and the tenant, what's the best way to keep that communication open based on the complaint, based on what you're receiving from both parties saying, well, they're not listening to me and they're not paying, they're not, when you're kind of sitting in the middle there listening to both, what's kind of the direction that you tell folks here to work together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. As a general matter, you should go to your landlord and be very forthright with struggling with pay rent and see if you can resolve it. And, many landlords are going to be able to accommodate that and want to work with you and not want to evict you. But at the same time, the landlord is running a business and they need their income as well. There have been resources out there for small business grants through the CARES Act as well. And for HUD-owned houses, if a landlord has a mortgage through that, there is also resources for landlords in that space. So there are opportunities for landlords to get relief outside of this rental assistance program. But again, landlords, the rental assistance will go directly to the landlord should that tenant qualify. So talk to each other, see if you can't work things out. There's also a fair, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes, you're at an impasse, the business needs their money and a tenant can't pay for it. So there are the Tenant Resource Center in Dane County can offer legal services to tenants. There are some similar organizations in Milwaukee, and those resources you can find on our website too. You may end up needing legal help and legal representation to see what your rights are and to see how you can stay in your home and what resources there are. So we encourage you to visit our website for all that information.
All right, turning our attention to the student loan and being extended for payback. Tell us what do we've got, any changes on this front, or how long will this last?
So this is a forbearance on federal student loans, and it has been in place for some time now. And in August, the federal government extended that forbearance time. The U.S. Department of Education did. So the final extension on this will last until January 31st, 2022. So in February, students will have to start paying back their loans, student borrowers. There will not be another extension, and the U.S. Department of Education has been clear on that. So what does this mean for students? It means that there's a suspension of their loan payments. There's a 0% interest rate being collected right now, and that they will not be collecting on. They will not be doing collections on defaulted loans. The unique thing about this forgiveness is that no borrower has to do anything. This is automatic. The federal loans that qualify are automatically put into forbearance. So this means a couple things. One is if someone is calling you and telling you to pay this much money so you can get put in forbearance, that is a scam. There is no requirement on your part to do anything. You don't need to give information. So if anybody's calling you asking for money, personal identifying information, your student loan login, anything about your student accounts, that's a scam. You do not need to give off any information to qualify. The other thing that folks should think about is if you are one of the fortunate that are in a financial situation that can afford paying these loans, you should. And that is because there's no interest being collected right now, and you're able to get down through that compounded interest and into your principal. So we encourage folks to continue paying if you can. There is a lot of folks out there that think that the government may forgive all of their loans. There has been a lot of discussion about loan forgiveness. And there's a sense that people are sitting back and not paying during this forbearance period because maybe their loans are going to get forgiven. The likelihood that all of your loans are going to be forgiven are pretty slim. So we encourage people, if you can pay, to start paying and to find out whether or not you need to be paying. Now, these are your federal loans. If you have private loans, they're not in forbearance necessarily. Some private lenders are also offering similar forbearance relief, but you need to be assertive and find out if that's true. So certainly don't rest on your laurels. This is a great opportunity to either pay down your debt if you can, but be proactive, call your loan servicer, find out which loans are eligible, find out which private loans may be eligible, and find out what payments you should be making during this time. And fortunately, in Wisconsin, there's a great student loan helpline that is put on through the Wisconsin Coalition of Student Loan Debt, as well as Ascendium, a local servicer here in Wisconsin. And that phone number is 833-589-0750, 833-589-0750. And Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, you can get a live human being to talk to you about a very complicated topic, repayment of student loans. Super complicated. There's any number of repayment plans. There's the forbearance that's put in place. There's private versus federal, all kinds of questions, and they can answer them. So I encourage you to use that number. I encourage you to share that number with people that are scratching their heads and trying to figure out what they do. But don't sit on the sidelines, and don't fall for unsolicited emails, pop-ups, social media texts saying we've got the magic formula for you to pay off all your loans. That doesn't exist. I assure you, it's complicated, and there's a lot of scammers out there that want to take advantage of the situation, take advantage of the fact that there's a mountain of debt. People are confused, and if you just tell them, "Oh, I have a real simple fix. Just pay me this monthly fee, and I can fix it for you." Trouble, Real Robinson. So steer away from that, and call that number 833-589-0750.
I was just going to put in here into a search engine and see, do I have to pay back my school loans? And I'm suspecting that in a search engine, it probably top 5 are probably scams of, oh no, you don't have to pay that back ever. So, I think that always goes back to, it's too good to be true. It's probably too good to be true. And this is great information. Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing this with us. Appreciate it. One more time, if people do want to find out or learn about anything we talked about today, where can they find you at?
They can call us at our hotline at 1-800-422-7128. If you're a victim of any of these student loan scams, we really want to hear about it. And you can also file a complaint or find any of the information that I mentioned at our website at datcp.wi.gov.
All right, perfect. Well, Laura, thank you so much. Glad to see you, and we'll check back in later this month with you.
Okay, thanks for having me, Jeremy.
You betcha. Well, I'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Thanks, everyone.